What's going on, people? Welcome back to Live Palace News. The window is shut, but we are back. It's like the morning after very, very hectic day. The emotions were running high. 2 signings yesterday. We had a 3-hour show towards the end of the night. It was an enjoyable show. We appreciate everyone tuning in. But if you do enjoy this show, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to not miss out on future Palace content. T, how is it? How's it the day after that we got 2 signings? How do you feel?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. I think even though we left it to the end of the window, 2 solid pickups for us, one on loan, one permanent, and it really addressed probably the most glaring need for us in a lot of people's opinions, being our midfield. So excited to see what they come in and can do for us, and see how we push on the rest of the season.
Yeah, look, we'll talk about the new signings towards the end of the show. Funny enough, the window is shut, but there's still Palace news going. And it's not just general Palace news, it's still transfer news, which is quite surprising. But as always, we'll keep you guys updated with all the latest with Palace as usual. So, T, should we start off with the first bit of room? And that's looking at the title. And that is Andre Ayew. So, according to the 90 Minute, they believe that Crystal Palace have held talks alongside Everton for Andre Ayew, and that's Jordan Ayew's brother. So potentially, as you said before the show, Mario and Luigi combo at Crystal Palace. Patrick Vieira's side have added the advantage of the fact that the former Marseille star's younger brother, Jordan Ayew, is currently contracted to Crystal Palace's Selhurst Park outfit. Wow. I mean, one Ayew wasn't enough. Go get 2 Ayews. But yeah, it is a funny rumor. It seemed like he has traveled to England. So I believe he was playing in Saudi Arabia. And it seemed like Everton have a 50-50 chance with another Premier League side. And 90 Minute are reporting that it could potentially be us. So, T, for you, Andre Ayew, 6-month deal. Would you take it to add some depth?
Absolutely not. No.
Why not?
Not doing it, bro. Not doing it.
Let us know in the chat as well. Would you guys take Andre Ayew for 6 months? Why not?
I feel like, especially when you're looking at the current free agent market, he's probably not even the best option out there, to be honest. I feel like there are probably better options. If you wanted to do that, if you wanted to look at the free agent forward landscape, I just don't think he's the top candidate or one of the top candidates, to be honest with you. I mean, yeah, he's Premier League experience, but he's 33 years old. From what I'm hearing, he's out of shape. You know, I don't know, man. I don't think it would be the move. Nah.
Yeah, I agree. Look, I understand what people are saying in terms of it's another body, and that's what Louis is saying. Another body. Why not? For me, I've reached that stage. We've seen it this season as well. Stop getting players for sake of another body. There is other bodies at a football club if you want to use players as well at academy level. I'm not saying out of my head that there is a straightaway academy replacement, but there's no point of bringing a player and paying wages 6 months just to have another body. Does Andre Ayew add depth? Yes, he does. But how much quality does he add? I'm not too sure.
How much will
does he
play?
make us a better side? No. Does he play ahead of Edouard and Mateta? Probably not as well. So when you answer all 3 of them questions and 2 of them basically is negative, I wouldn't take him. For me, it wouldn't make any sense. It wouldn't make any sense apart from the fact that Jordan Ayew is going to be playing with his brother. I mean,
right. Which
who cares? Yeah, look, I would prefer it if we avoided it, because I feel like we could. Let's ask this question: can we survive without Andre Ayew towards the end of the season? I 100%. Think so. Yes.
Yes.
And for that reason alone, I'd rather not.
We can survive without Jordan Ayew too. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
If it came down to it, we can survive without Jordan Ayew.
It's going to be funny. We're going to get rid of Jordan Ayew. After these signings, Jordan Ayew is going to go on the bench only for another Ayew to be starting ahead of him. But like, it's a never-ending situation. I wonder if there's other Ayews available as well. Are there any other Ayews playing? I mean, apart from the Ayew brothers.
Yeah, I hope not.
Yeah, I haven't heard of any Ayews, but yeah, look, for me, I wouldn't take Jordan. Not Jordan. Jordan's already here. Andre Ayew at Palace, because I don't know really what much he adds to his Palace side apart from just having a body, which I'm done with just having bodies at the club. Ellis says he's an Ayew who can score. Fair enough. He's 33 years old. I'm like, how much do you expect him to score?
Can he score at this level still?
Exactly. Ty says would stunt our other attackers if he plays instead of them. Punching Bag says hell no, no Ayew, please let this be some rubbish rumor. We don't need another Ayew. Vincent Abubakar is available. I don't know. Look, we don't need any other signings. I mean, we're not in that situation. Everton do. That's why he's linked with Everton, and I'd prefer if he did go to Everton. But we don't need any other signings. Like we could do with this squad that we got till the end of the season.
So you can get some younger, more capable guys, like I said, in that free agent market if you needed to. Like you got guys like Jurgen Locadia that are out there who's playing in the Premier League. I think Hesse's out there. Like you got guys that are out there that are free agents that you could bring in that are 3, 4, 5, 6 years younger, probably more physically fit, more capable if you wanted to fill that spot up. But I don't think it's necessary.
So I'd rather have Vieira up top than Jordan Ayew. Yeah, I mean, it probably helps. So he can be the manager and a player at the same time. But look, I think everyone, I think majority here, anyways, don't want Ayew. Even though when you go on social media, it seems like people do want Andre Ayew. I don't know if they're literally being serious or if they're just having a laugh. But for me, I just don't know what he really adds apart from just having a body. And I'm done with just having bodies at the club. I actually want someone who can contribute positively.
Absolutely.
So yeah, we'll see what happens. He might end up going to Everton. He might end up coming to Palace or another Premier League club. But interesting report coming out after the day the window's shut. So that's still a possibility, I guess, toward in the next few weeks. Or I don't know when the actual deadline closes. I don't think there's even that long left. But yeah, let's move on to the second bit of rumor. This is, would you say more concerning? I'm not too sure. Let's have your thoughts. As always, if you're enjoying the show, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to not miss out on future content. But the next report is according to the Football London site, and that is Tottenham are reportedly still interested in signing Crystal Palace defender Marc Guehi with a summer move for the England international potentially on the card for Spurs. T, this one is quite interesting with Marc Guehi because we talk about having to potentially sell some of these youngsters in order to invest and bring in more players. I know that's the model that we're after. We actually haven't activated it. We brought in these youngsters, but we haven't gone to the stage of selling them. But for you, Marc Guehi, I mean, would you be okay with selling him in the summer, considering that we got the likes of Chris Richards potentially coming up, if this report was true? Because we haven't seen that much of Richards, but seems like we could have replacements in that position. For you, what do you make of this?
If I'm completely honest, Marc Guehi's not the guy I want to sell at this point. I mean, he's got the potential to be a club stalwart for years to come, not just for what would be 2 years at that point that we'd have him, to be honest with you. I understand why Tottenham is interested in him. I mean, because honestly, if Tottenham was to sign him, he debatably becomes their best defender, in my opinion. Outside of maybe somebody like debatably Christian Romero or somebody like that, but
I think he becomes their best.
If you consider
he's an England international, so homegrown player, still very young as well. In terms of actual
he's the fastest out of all of them. He's going to be the best with the ball at his feet out of all those guys. I mean, I get why they're interested in him. But I would hope that we don't sell him. But I mean, money talks. So who knows?
I prefer we don't sell him. But there's some comments there, and the comments are suggesting that 65 to 70 million pound a minimum. So if we were to sell him, how much do you think is value to Palace right now?
Yeah, in that range, 60 to 70 million, especially for the price range that we're seeing that a lot of central defenders are going for. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you think about it, I mean, and also the cost of replacement for us, you know, if we decide to dip back into the market and get another central defender, depending on our situation, you know, we sell them for 60 or 70 million. I mean, you think about what Chelsea was able to do with picking up a guy like Benoit Badiashile in the 30 million-ish range. You know what I'm saying? So that sets us up to bring in a very, very, very lucrative replacement at only around half of what our return would be from what we get from him. So
it depends how you look at it, because you might not even have to bring in a replacement.
And you understand, you might not, and you very much might not.
Academy if Vieira rates him highly, so you could potentially have about 60 million or so to spend. But saying that, realistically, do I see Tottenham spending 65 to 70 million pound out of all the clubs on Marc Guehi? No, unless they have like a clear out, because as we know, Tottenham's
Because how much did
not
they pay
that
for
type of
Cora?
club to go and spend massive. And also, we don't even know who the next manager is.
Yeah.
Like, does Conte even want him? And if it's Conte that wants him, is he even going to be there next season?
Does
So
the
for
next
me,
manager want to play three at the back?
exactly. And the next manager might want his own defender. We don't know who the next manager might be. So there's more question marks raised. But for me, I would like Marc to stay at the club. I would like all these youngsters to stay at the club because I feel like they haven't reached their potential yet. And once they do, look, as I've said, we're going to talk about the new signings in just a second. We're missing pieces from the squad. We've got good talent, but once we fill in then gaps, such as the midfield, which we've arguably done in this transfer window, we will see how much better this squad can be. Last season, we went to FA Cup semi-final. Like, let's not forget about that. And we played positively in so many games. So for me, I want to keep this squad as much as possible. And whilst doing that, because we haven't spent that much money. I mean, this season, I think we're negative. I need to check it out. But in terms of our net spend, we haven't spent. We spent 10.5 million on Hamada. There was Czech Decore that we brought in. So in general, we haven't spent that much money. So I would like to keep the players as much as we can and also strengthen as it is and go for it. And if it doesn't work out, then cool, try it again. But I feel like it's too early to sell some of these players. And
yeah, because we haven't really started to truly build the way we want to build yet. I don't think we've solidified ourselves, our squad, the way we want to, as far as shifting out some of the older players from the past regime and feeling like we've really stocked the team up the way that we want it to be, to then be able to consider some of those moves. You know what I mean? So I would want us to at least take another year, I'd say, to try to keep the team together, try to build on what we have so far.
Yeah, Luke says more worried about Chelsea going in for him, given that they're splashing money recently. I mean, splashing money has been nice. They've
if we know they're going to come back for him, we know they'll overpay. So that's not a bad thing.
Exactly. So if Tottenham are after 60 million, then just best believe Chelsea probably like
80
in for like 90 million. so either way, it's a win-win situation if one of the big clubs bid for him. But there's also an interesting comment about him, which let's answer this from Ty, saying Chelsea would have to match the highest bid if they want him. Yeah, that'll be interesting because I remember
first right of refusal.
Yeah. So there was a clause like that. So that'll be interesting. And I don't know if Chelsea would do it, in all honesty, because they've signed a lot of players and I have to go through the squad again. But maybe Thiago Silva is getting a bit old, so if Tottenham were after him. But then again, I just don't see Tottenham spending 60 to 65 million on a defender. I just don't. Knowing how that club is. If it was someone like a Man City or like a Man United, then potentially, but not Tottenham. So I'm not that worried about it. But yeah, I feel like right back is a position we can go and scout for in the summer. You know what? We'll talk about other position and answer some of your questions. If you have questions, send them through. We'll go through them towards the end of the show. Let's talk about last bit of news as the window shut. Let's talk about our signings so far this window, and let's start off with Lokonga and Hamada. Of course, two incomings, both midfielders. And the outgoings, we had a few youth players go out on loan, which is good for the experience. We've seen Plange being recalled back and going to Lincoln City. Ibiwe, who's still at the club, apparently, based on training photos today, even though he's out on loan at Hull City. He's gone out on loan, and there's been a few other youngsters like John Kimani Gordon. For you, T, how would you sum up this window and what rating would you give it? Because we didn't really have the chance towards the end of the show to get your thoughts on it.
I'd probably say I'd call it solid 7 out of 10.
Are you saying 7? Okay. Are you saying 7 because of how recent it was? Let's say we made these signings.
No, I'm saying 7. I'm saying 7. I'm saying 7 in terms of addressing the needs that we have and the immediate needs that we have in the team. I think getting the necessary amount of midfield help was great for us as far as what we have available to us right now. I think that the reason why it gets a 7 and not closer to like a 9 or a 10 or 9 or a 10 is because of the fact that we didn't address right back. I think that if we addressed right back, it'd probably be closer to a 9. But yeah, I think 7 is where I would have it fall right now. Probably would have went 8, 8.5, and we would have got a buy option on Lukonga too.
Yeah, that's very high, man. That's very high.
Like I said,
For me,
for me, a 10 out of 10 window would be if we were to able to address the midfield and to address right back. I think
but
for
is it
us,
just about addressing the midfield or the quality of midfield? For me, a 10 out of 10 wouldn't be just to get a right back and a
here's the
midfielder because
thing.
if we
Well,
got
here's the
Bright
thing.
Osei
We don't.
Samuel
I
as a
mean,
right back and
we could say all we want to about quality, but we don't know how guys are going to perform when they get in. You know what I mean? I mean, Chelsea just spent 120 million on Enzo Fernandez, but they don't know if he's going to turn out good for them. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So you can technically bring in what seems to be quality, but it may not actually work out as far as their actual level of play. So we don't know. I mean, we could end up. I mean, if we spend 10 million on Amada and he ends up becoming a big time starter for us, always in our starting 11, huge
yeah, you might be
contributor,
sharp, exactly. Yeah, you might do. Yeah,
then it's like you spent 10 million on like that. That's quality right there. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm.
I think for me, my grading is about how well we made the right moves and additions to the squad for our immediate needs that we have. That's what my grading would be considered on.
Yeah. Look,
Mhm.
for me, in terms of actual grading to the transfer window, I'll probably have to give it a 6.5 out of 10. And the
Okay,
reason
so
for
we're
that
not far
is,
off from each other then.
yeah, and the 6.5 or 6 out of 10. And the reason for that is we managed to sign a midfielder, which was positive. I like that Hamada signing, maybe more than Lukonga. I'm not too sure because you can make the argument for that. Hamada, 20 years old, he's got that talent in him. Of course, he can improve his game, but there is something about him. And also, we're going to make a video about Hamada and have a Stuttgart fan on the channel. So make sure to check that out. That'll probably be posted in a few days' time. But yeah, Hamada, solid. Lukonga on loan. I know Arsenal fans don't rate him, but I do. In terms of, look, I think it works out for him. He joins a club with less expectations on him. He's got Vieira as a manager, and he'll be playing consistent Premier League minutes. He hasn't had that opportunity at Arsenal so far this season, and I feel like it was a bit harsh from Arsenal fans just calling him names and saying, "Oh, he's bad and he's all of that, etc."
Yeah, I mean,
After 6 games or so. So for me, I'm happy with Lukonga as well. But right back, we need a right back. You can make an argument maybe we needed more players going forward as well. I understand in the January transfer window it was always going to be difficult, but for me, even a 6.5 is high. I can easily push that down to a 6 or 5 as well because we didn't spend as much in the summer. We brought in 1 or 2 good players, but it wasn't as enough. And in January, I don't think we made up for it by these 2 midfielders alone. And I'm not saying I'm overly furious or anything like that. I'm just saying it was nice bringing in these midfielders, but we know that we needed a bit more than this. But it lines us up for a massive summer. So potentially in the summer we could go out and get these right backs and all the other positions that we need. So I'm not too upset about it. It's a solid window.
yeah,
Solid
because
window.
I think
Nothing
part
too
of
great,
it, I
nothing
think
too
part
bad.
of it is you would hope that it's like you said, it's part of the bigger picture, the bigger design is that we understood that maybe with what we're trying to do with the stadium, all that kind of stuff, money might be a little bit tighter. So this summer, this winter won't be as big of expenditures for us. We had to make smart, calculated moves. And if that's the case, we did those things. We made smart, calculated moves this summer and this winter, and it resulted in guys like Decore and Lakanga and Hamada. You know, it resulted in those things. So if those were the calculated moves that we needed to make to be more efficient on these 2 windows for us to have that big summer, this coming up summer, so be it.
Yeah. Look, it sets us up for a big summer. I know, and I'm expecting a big summer with players out of contract, with not spending as much money in this whole season as well. It sets us up for an exciting summer, and if we can keep Wilf and build on that, I mean, yeah, we could that could push us on to the next level. But then again, you have to remember this is the last summer before Vieira's contract runs out. I mean, people are forgetting that it runs out in 2024 by the start of next summer.
Mm,
So we've got 2 more windows to show our real ambition. And
2
I
more
think this
windows, one
summer,
more
I'm
season.
expecting
Yep.
something big. I'm expecting something, maybe not the same level as the first summer that Vieira was in, but I'm expecting somewhere in between, a bit less than that, but more than what we saw this summer. So it should still be a solid window.
I think after this summer, we shouldn't. It's to a point like where we're into the process long enough where we shouldn't be seeing old regime players anymore. We should see the guys that Vieira wants to see out there on the pitch playing for us. I think that is where this summer needs to get us to. We need to have players in positions and a decent amount of depth established of players that Patrick Vieira wants to see playing in his squad. We shouldn't be seeing deadwood players like Schlupp or Ayew or Ward or, those type of guys.
What makes you think that he doesn't want to play them players? Because there's also a chance that Jeffrey Schlupp still starts in midfield.
The reason why I don't think he wants to see Jeffrey Schlupp start is because we signed 2 midfielders in the window, and that's all we signed.
To replace the Corey.
We
signed 2 midfielders to replace the Corey and keep Jeffrey Schlupp there.
In that
Whatever it takes to keep Schlupp in the midfield.
In that case, Vieira will probably be going in the summertime. Let's keep it honest.
Exactly, that'll be one of our that'll be one of our outgoings as well. If that happens. But let's answer some of the questions before we wrap up, because we're going to record the match preview relatively short as well ahead of the Manchester United game. And Barley says, "Do you think Connor's price will drop in the summer?"
I don't care.
You don't care?
No, I don't care. I don't want Conor. I don't want Conor Gallagher. I don't want him.
Why would you want him?
I'm tired of the hang up. We don't need. No, I don't want him. I'm tired of the hang up that our fans, that this club has on him. Let it go, man. Let it go.
Yeah, but he's been he was a solid system player for us, though. He helped us last season to achieve them results.
The problem with this franchise is the fact that we always try to bring back old players. Let him go. We're not going to get him.
Okay,
let it go.
All right, let's say Lukonga goes back to Arsenal and we don't get Lukonga. We still need another midfielder. Like Hamada's not enough.
It shouldn't be Conor Gallagher. It shouldn't be Conor Gallagher because we're still going to overpay for him. No.
So how much? So do you think his price will drop in the summer?
No, not significantly. Not significant enough for it to be affordable.
To £40 million, you wouldn't take him?
No, I would not. He's not $35 to $40 million player. No, okay. I wouldn't do it. I'd pay $20 million. I'd pay $20 million for Conor McGregor at Gallagher at the most.
Conor McGregor.
20 million at the most.
I mean, that'll be one hell of a battle if we had Conor McGregor in the midfield.
Right.
Get a lot of red cards.
Everybody getting knocked out. Everybody
getting knocked out. I mean, that's a central defensive midfielder on a whole different level. Forget about the tackles. Everyone's getting knocked out off the ball. But look, I don't know if his price will drop because there will still be interest, but I guess it depends on.
I don't think his price will drop just because of the fact that Chelsea is going to have to sell, man, and they're going to have to make money. Like,
then again, they're going to have to get rid of players as well. They signed a lot of players, so I think
but they're going to have to get rid of guys, but they're going to have to get some money back, man. I think they're going to be overcharging like they've consistently done. We've never gotten a player permanently that's been loaned in from Chelsea.
So Ty also has a question: is Hamada suspended? I believe not.
I believe not, because he was still with the team. He was still with the team apparently when they played their next match that he would have been suspended for.
So that's why apparently got announced after the game. That's according to the reports, because he had a suspension, and because he's technically was still with them till the end of the game, it basically got written off. And then as soon as that happened, he joined us. So I believe his suspension is gone. But that's probably why we waited so long for it to be announced, because it seemed like the medical did go. Did you watch the video team? And the chat as well?
And that's what makes me realize our process takes so long, because our players have to go to 3 different places to complete a medical.
Yeah.
It's like, you got to go here to get this, and you got to go here to get the MRI.
It was done around 5 o'clock. It was done around 5 o'clock. So we waited till 9 to announce it.
All I'm saying is I think a lot of other teams are able to do what they do so much faster, because when a player gets to their facilities, to their training grounds, everything is done there. You know what I'm saying? They have the means to do everything there. All I'm saying is when you got a player that has to run all around London to do this and do that and do this and do that, and then come to training ground and do more, and then finish up and then sign and then do the video.
No, but it's not that far. It's not that far. It's not. Well, going to London, that's different. Vieira actually said he's been waiting for him for 3 days. But in terms of locations, Tooting to Wimbledon, it's not that far from each other. In terms
Yeah,
of,
it's
like, the
not that.
actual
It's
location.
not that. It's probably not that far distance wise, but you have to take into account that when you go somewhere for an appointment, it's going to take time for you to get through what you're doing at that appointment. So I would imagine that each of those stops, time in between trying to get there, the time that you're actually there, that's hours that it's taking to get that stuff done before he even gets to the training ground now, compared to if you just come to the training ground and everything is done right there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's all I'm saying. I mean, I honestly think the process would be much shorter.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. If you're enjoying the show, make sure to smash the like button. I don't even know how many likes we're on right now. But we're gonna wrap it up soon to talk about those plays, whether they'll potentially start against Manchester United in a match preview. So I'm not gonna have any spoilers on this show, but
No
there'll be a video
spoilers.
coming out for that for tomorrow. So keep your eyes checked out on Back of the Nest. And as AJ says, both plays showing today, so it could be a possibility. But
Sorry.
whether Vieira will play him, that's a question that we'll probably answer on a match preview, which will be good. Because it feels like it's been a while now since we last played because of that 1 week break. But yeah, it should be a good game against Manchester United. 2 games unbeaten as well going into this game, so it should be exciting. Did Connor make us better, or did having a proper 8 make us better? Well, Connor was that proper 8.
I think it was,
okay.
But what he's saying is, did Connor as a player make us better, or having a player that does that position correctly make a difference? And I think it's a little bit of both. I think it's a little bit of both. To be honest,
I think Connor played very good. Like if you look at
he played very good the first half of the season.
Goals.
He played very good the first half of the season.
Yeah, but the second half of the season after that
second half of the season was below
we dropped
par
off as a team, though.
But his second half of the season was below par. Honestly,
yeah, it was
very run.
But I think the team was. Remember when Everton, Newcastle, we had some very.
Let me say this: but we're talking about player consistency and things. I'm not paying $40 million for a guy to have a good half season. I'm not paying $40 million for a dude to have a good half season.
He had his mind on Chelsea. We knew that he was going to go back to Chelsea. So if he was to join us on a permanent deal, we wouldn't have that situation because he knows he's a Crystal Palace player.
But I'm not paying $40 million to see if it's true. Like I'm just not.
Well, when that happens,
when it happens, but put it like this. But let me say this.
You have no option but to witness greatness.
But let me say this. When it happens, if it happens, and we pay that amount, I'm going to support Connor like any other player. I'm going to love him and cheer for him all the same. You know what I'm saying? I don't make the financial decisions or the call. So if they feel like he's worth it, fine, bring him in. And I hope he replicates for him and does great things for us. I'm not hating on Conor Gallagher by any means. I just feel like the outlay of the money that we have to pay isn't right. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and look, to wrap up the show, I think I agree with Dan. Gallagher ran out of energy in the second half of the season, or that's how it appeared to me. And I feel like it wasn't just Connor; it was a lot of these players. It was the first season we played very high pressing football, and we saw it. Some players actually got injured to the state that, like Maka, that they were out pretty much for nearly a year.
Squad depth
we haven't seen it for ages. Very demanding football, and we had a lot of games as well because of the FA Cup, so it was more than usual as well. But look, that's it from me and T. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the show. If you have, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and leave down your comments in the comment section down below. We'll be back for the match preview and some very special transfer videos talking about our new signings, so keep your eyes peeled for that. But until next time, up the Palace.
Up the Palace.